insurance. Never works. That's why you just gotta roll with it. We can make a longer intro. Now, still, if I'm hungry, I'm still gonna try to chew before we get to it. But all right, swallow. All right. For those who don't know, this is that Big Games BS, brought to you by the Media Group, presented by the. No, we no longer is it? Yeah, we're in June now, right? Yeah. So right now, no more the Humidor right now. Presented by my goddamn self. And Goodfellas. So actually, we still have Goodfellas cigar lounge, even though we're not in there right now. We're at the crib. A lot of stuff. For those who don't know, I've been going back and forth between Tallahassee and Jacksonville because both my mother and my grandmother have both been a little sick, so they're getting better. I actually drive over to Tallahassee tomorrow. Well, no, it's changed. After we record on Wednesday, I'm driving over to Tallahassee. They're gonna pick up my mother, bring her over here with me for a little bit, let her vibe. She'll get a chance to hang out with the namesake, the franchise, because I can't believe it. He's 10 years old this upcoming Sunday, so we'll be having a birthday celebration. He has cooler birthdays than most people. He's gonna have a game truck with all of his homies. And apparently, I'm taking a lot of these motherfuckers to go see Spider-Man. I'm not very. I'm only assuming that the person who's paying for Spider-Man is going to be me, but you can help. I promise. The stuff we're about to post, that money will not go to helping my son see Spider-Man for the most part. But like I said, Trey will post more about that. I do believe in celebrating. I want him to have a dope ass birthday and not have the same feeling about birthdays as I do. But the housekeeping that we got to push every week. I saw somebody post a very disrespectful comment in the YouTubes of sporadic back to back. And I was just like, who are these mofos? And they're like, you're always selling. I'm like, that's not true at all. But what's the point of having a show if you're not going to promote? Right? Like, people have to pay for things. But the thing that I do promote right now is my 4th annual book bag drop. We've got about 100 book bags raised so far. We're a long way from the 3,600. But $36 a book bag. If you could, check it out. Trust me, it's a lot that goes into these things. We're doing the fundraising. We're doing all of the finality, all of the fine tuning with everything. It's going to be a really, really good special occasion. Again, every time the one that's pictured or video right now is our one in Tallahassee, where we went to Bond Elementary School, and we give away food and we give away book bags as well. About a week's worth of groceries and produce, all for $36 a bag. We want to make sure that between Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Orlando, and Atlanta that people are hold the mic. Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and Atlanta, that families are going to be taken care of. And we're going to get the book back. We're going to get the number of bags. I just like to give other people opportunities to help with time, talent, and treasure. So you got money sign MFTK36 for Cash App. We got MFTK Foundation at PayPal.com. MFTK Foundation at gmail.com for PayPal. We got MFTK Foundation for Venmo. If you want to Zelle, just let me know as well. We have Zelle. What else do we take? Cash or checks. If you want to check, just MFTK Foundation. If you got any kind of business or organization, but really the biggest thing is just a quick share. This video right here that's being shown on the stream. That's I believe that's the pinned tweet on my Twitter. So you can literally just go there, quick share real quick, because one of the most important things, bigger than just raising the funds for it, is going to be able to make sure we distribute this to the masses as much as we can. So this is one of the cool things that I do, on top of the fact that I still want people to subscribe to the channel. We want to get to 3,000 followers or subs, excuse me. I get confused with Twitter, but 3,000 subs. We'd love to get to over 100 members one day, but definitely 3,000 subs. Once we get to 3,000 subs, we're going to give away a pair of tickets to the FSU LSU game. That's going to be Labor Day weekend. We'll probably throw in some tailgate passes as well for that weekend, but those tickets are going for, that's like a 900. That's almost by the time we get to 3,000 subs, that's $1,000 giveaway. We'll also still give away our $300 that we give away when we get to those numbers, with the goal of being by the end of football season. I would love to be at 5,000 subs. 100 members is still a lot. We'll take more than that, but memberships go from $3.99 to $99.99. And there's perks that come with that. You get a membership to Goodfellas Cigar Lounge. You get a bunch of other different things that will probably be more amped up once we get to football season. So appreciate you guys sharing or considering that. That's just basically how it goes. So the book bag drive, as well as this, but then some news came out. We got the first 3 announced. We have our Labor Day kickoff on tailgate. So if you purchase tickets to the tailgate, that also goes toward the MFTK Foundation portion of the proceeds. There's a ticket tailor link. You can just Google this. You can go to if you go to, again, want to go to my tweets, you'll be able to see this. You can click on the link, be able to purchase whatever you got to do. ABC still sponsors that though, as well as Den Media Group partner with Sporadics and the Roll Up Network. It's no longer Big 3 Roll Up, but the Roll Up Network. Come in, and Game Day Vodka provides some of the libations. So now that they've announced time, so we know this tailgate, this game of FSU versus LSU will be at 7:30 p.m. on September 3rd. I believe it's on ABC. We know that game's there, but they've announced the first 3 games of the season. So if there's a home game and it's not a noon kickoff, guess what we're going to have? We're going to have a tailgate. So right now, Southern Miss, that game is going to be at, what does that say? At 8:30 p.m. That's late. ACC Network. But we will have a tailgate, lot 19. We will have the tickets for that. We will probably end up doing a tailgate season pass at that point. So you can just, if you know you're going to most of the games, you know you're coming to tailgates, just buy that bad boy up front and then be able to get everything that you need. So we will be having a Southern Miss tailgate. We will not be doing an away tailgate for Boston College. They play at noon. That I'm not even going. I can tell you right now, big game will not be at that game. Because I got a coach on Friday. That means I got to get the first thing smoking from Jacksonville to Boston just to pray to be at the game on time. Now, we'll be sitting here, be watching terrible 10U football probably after that game, because I think Trey's games are a little bit later in the day, or I'll probably figure out a way to watch it under the tent at the football game. So those are the different housekeeping announcements that we got right there. I've told people, what I've been up to, what I've been doing. Is there something we got kickoff times, make sure we're on track. Oh yeah. Listen, a lot of people joke about me and don't understand. Like I'm making jokes about Christianity and stuff, but it's also in the Bible. I've learned that most Christians have never read the book. And I think some of the pastors, they're not necessarily, they're stealing their scriptures based upon things that I've said on this show or my sayings in life. And this pastor basically preached the ministry of, if she can't eat checkers, she can't eat Ruth Chris. And this is why you got to be like this.
I ain't giving you all that. You ain't proved that you can handle all that. You ain't big enough to handle this. Right now, you just cheeseburger. I ain't taking you to Ruth Chris yet. Your head gonna swell too big. You're gonna do something crazy because you can't handle it.
I'm telling
I
you,
ain't
man,
giving you all that.
It's a lot of these principles are like I said, I may not necessarily, I have a firm belief in God. Firm belief that there is something that I have experienced entirely too many incredible things for there not to be somebody up there looking out for me. And I don't mean experience on the good side. I mean, there's some shit that's happened. I'm like, there's no way I should have survived that. That being said, I don't know if that book of fables is 100% accurate, but I know some of those things probably happen because there's stories that are told in other religious books. of similar things. And again, there are some things that are still fundamentally sound. Like the book of Proverbs is a great way to probably live your life and do different things, especially if you really want to know how to get a woman. And well, I know a lot of women who go to church aren't reading. It's Proverbs 31. If you read Proverbs 31, it clears up a lot of these different things. But I was actually having a convo with my son's godfather, who is a big time, and I love him to death. We have a lot of intellectual debates and discussions. And he's big on, like, we have to ban books, right? We have to ban books that talk about sex and homosexuality and death, because the kids are too young to hear about these things. And I'm like, have you read the Old Testament? Because the Old Testament is full of homosexuality, sexual deviation, murder, all kinds of zombies are in the, like, people got mad when I said zombies are in the Bible, which they are. There's a whole zombie army. Well, Lazarus was a zombie, true. So zombies are in the New Testament, but there's a whole zombie army that they, like, he just blew his wind into the cannon of the Valley of the Dead people, and the bones came together. And I'm like, that. Do you know the old right? So it's two ways to look at the Old Testament living time. It's gonna be really cool or really fucking scary. But again, y'all know my guy is David. David was a wild boy, man. I told a young lady at the cigar lounge that she was talking. I was like, you realize that the only way they didn't check David's pulse to find out if he was dead. They didn't send him to the doctor. They didn't declare that David was dead at this time. Such they said, put a young lady at the foot of his bed, and if she leaves untouched, that means the king is dead. That's in the Bible. That means David was out there slanging dick in God's name. So, like, just there's a lot of things that, probably if they really use the same metrics, they would ban that book. But they saying we need that book in the schools more. And I'm not sure if y'all really been reading this book or not, but I do know this: that pastor literally appropriated my entire saying. Next thing you know, it's gonna be preachers preaching the ministry of, man, fuck them kids. And that's when I'm going to be like, that's where the line needs to be drawn. Actually, you know what? I don't want churches preaching that, because right now they already live in that. They're not using the comma. It's man, comma, fuck them kids. Not man, fuck them kids. People to do these different things. That's weird. So yeah, that part. Like, yeah, we talked about, right? About Trey and I'm cool. I'm good. I'm great. I just got to teach him about the proper titties. But like my son is, hey, I don't know what to tell y'all. Like, I'm relieved. Like, I'm not saying that if he was looking at something else, I would not love him anymore. I personally don't care. The only obligation that my oldest son has to me is to give me a grandson by the name of James Anthony Coleman IV. Outside of that, I really don't care. But I am relieved that I don't have to have the bees and the bees conversation with them. So just got to worry about the birds and the bees. But I'm gonna start off sad. So, like, if you've been at my spring game tailgates, which has started this off, or if you've seen Goodfellas Cigar Lounge, or if you've done, if you've noticed any other things that I've done, it's gonna be the part where it says starts off sad. Yeah, go back to the notes. Yeah, right there. Yeah. So there's a guy I met him about 6 years ago. I met him when I met this guy, Tom, who I'm on Capital Cigar Lounge, when I was grieving from my Uncle Jew. He was a big part of my life. One of my father's good friends who stayed in contact with us. He was my godfather, my original godfather. And I came in town for a week, but my boy OJ had been telling me, hey, bro. Well, first he told me about this cigar lounge called Fuba. And then he was like, wait a minute, hold on. There's a better cigar lounge that's owned by a brother. And he was like, and you need to go check that out. So 6 years ago, I met this guy right here by the name of Tom. And Tom is one of those guys. If you've gone to my spring game tailgates, I always have something at the lounge, and it's because of this guy. This man supported it like for 6 years. You would have thought he knew me my entire life. This man really legitimately like took care of me if I needed something. Like I remember the Boise State tailgate that everybody picks on me about. Or like a lot of people don't like me for, don't even understand how much went into actually pulling off a tailgate of that magnitude in Tallahassee. Well, Tom activated the cigar lounge, and they had a bunch of brothers there. They got me chairs, tables, tents, a grill, all kinds of stuff, so that we could be able to do what it is that we needed to do. Not just for that, when it was pouring down raining for the spring game 2 years ago, he opened up the lounge and we shifted it from Doak to the lounge, and then everybody was able to get back to the spring game, relatively easy. He even cut the game on in the lounge for people to be able to watch that. This black man literally just embraced me like I was his own son. And I go there. Everybody in Tallahassee knew I was going to college. Knows where my mama even knows. She's like, "You going to that damn lounge, ain't you?" And it's a lot of it's because there's a bunch of men who are like Brother Tom, and he passed away Thursday at about officially at about 9:30 p.m. And it was there's not enough talk amongst black men about people who have really mentored and really changed their lives. And this guy right here is like everything that I want to be at. Like nothing but positive comments have come out about him. And the reason why I like bigging him up is because we get a lot of flack. This was a father, a damn good father. His daughters were always around the lounge. He was a brother. He was a mentor. He was a pillar in the Tallahassee community. He worked at FAMU for years, retired, and still was about the community. So every time you see a tailgate, every time you see the book bag drop, every time you see all these different things in Tallahassee, Florida, it's like this man right here was big time behind it. And not just like fiscally, but he was the one who activated a bunch of other men to come in and entrust me with the vision that I wanted. So like I said, this guy was more of a minister to a lot of us young brothers than any minister could be. And then like, the old black men give wisdom in the way that only old black men can give wisdom. Only two things I've ever wanted to be in life. One was a father, and two is an old black man. And I want to be an old black man, just like Tom was and as an old black man. But he'll live as we all kind of move forward. But before that, actually, we'll skip this one. I posted something and it's kind of like catching up. I hate not doing shows, but the best lawyer in the family. I hate posting shows like out of order because or when I have a big gap, because there's like, I don't know, like it's a lot happens and I'm trying to figure out what's important to talk about. As opposed to Wednesday's show will be a little bit more current events and not what's going on in my life. But apparently I forgot what day it was, but I was on, I guess it says June 2nd. I was, that was Friday, I believe. Apparently on Friday, I was on TV. I was on the court show. It's called Relative Justice. And I whooped my sister's ass on a court show. My sister, who is an attorney, dropped a lot of money, is a good attorney, got drugged because she decided to take me to court to sue me over my then 2-year-old child beating up her plants and then making an example out of the plant. So when my sister lived in Orlando, I think this was during the quarantine time, she wanted to she didn't want both boys, she wanted Killer. So she came and got Killer, and Killer was down there. She left my son unattended. And my sister talks about her plants as if they're people. They have names. They have all these different things. So apparently, Killer probably thought this was a real human. And the human was talking shit. So Killer punched the plant. And then he punched the plant, and then he needed the other plants to see an example of what happens when you're talking shit. So he spread the dirt of the plant all over her cushions of her couch, and she tried to sue me for damages to the plant and to that, but the judge
Definitely. I had one in defense. He's 2. Why would you leave a 2-year-old unattended to go do some court? You know who she was? Actually, it wasn't even a court thing. She was literally doing a Zoom call with a pastor who's been fucking everybody in Tallahassee. Now, he wasn't trying to get with my sister, but you guys know O. Jermaine Simmons. Jacob's Chapel. If you always hear my joke, we're going to have the church services at Jacob's Chapel because that's where all the bad bitches are at. That's the preacher. He was bigging her up, but like, O. Jermaine is a big pimp, like, again. So I can't go to his church because I don't think his prayers are leaving the ceiling. But she was talking to O. Jermaine while my 2-year-old was left unattended and she has a balcony. Long story short, it was fun. We posted this. Bunch of people were like, yo, what the fuck happens? You went on a TV show, like you went on court, like what did you do? Was the child yours? Has nothing to do with that. It was relative justice. But the one thing I'll tell you is that as long as you have logic and common sense, you can win. And I think logic and common sense is even going to win out, even when you do break some laws, which I know people don't like to hear this, and I feel terrible for him, but my man Travis kind of broke a law, but I hope he gets out of that. But yeah, you know, he did, like, again, if you own guns, you know, like what he did, and I'm sorry about that. It might be called, I've probably been called some of everything under, like, for people who don't understand, but it is what it is. But this is how let's celebrate our greats. Travis was a good one, but I love celebrating greats. I have a picture with Warrick Dunn. You can't tell me shit. Warrick Dunn knew who the fuck I was. When I went to, I saw him in the spring game. I said, hi, Warrick Dunn. He said, I know who you are, big game. I said, oh my goodness. You are Warrick Dunn. Warrick Dunn is probably one of the top 2 quietest Seminoles of all time. Number 1 is Charlie Ward, but both of them are great. They were both roommates. And in a meme that I just realized will confuse the fuck out of my mom, Peter Warrick and Warrick Dunn are going into the Hall of Fame. She gets confused which one is Warrick. Because she's like, you was with Peter Warrick on Saturday, and then you was with Peter Warrick on Sunday. I was like, no, Mom. I was with Peter Warrick on Saturday, but I was with Warrick Dunn on Sunday. They're not the same person. No, Mom. That's two completely different Seminoles. I don't even think they ever played. No, they might have crossed when Pete was young, but both of them are on the 2024 College Football Hall of Fame ballot. Tremendous men, tremendous athletes, deserving of all the accolades. I mean, just think about it like this. Warrick Dunn was 3-time 1,000-yard rusher, 1995 Sugar Bowl MVP, the 12th overall draft pick. He's one of 4 first-round draft picks in Florida State history, all up under Billy Sexton. Played for the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Was just an all-around great person, great humanitarian. So if people want to know who I believe in trying to follow the mold and the model, it would be Warrick Dunn. Warrick Dunn builds a house every year, has done so since he was in college, for a single parent in honor of his mother, who was gunned down in Louisiana when he was just before he was getting ready to go off to college, leaving him to be one of the primary people to take care of his brothers and sisters. Peter Warrick, arguably one of the greatest college football players to ever play. 2-time first-team All-American, not just first-team All-American, unanimous All-American, meaning that he was under multiple, or consensus, meaning that multiple All-American services put him on there. He was a 2000 Sugar Bowl National Championship Game MVP, the 4th overall draft pick, was snubbed the Heisman Trophy because of a hookup. The Dillards thing. What's funny is it's cool when your friends, like, something happened to him. Well, because I'm actually a friend with him. I could call Pete right now. Well, he may, and if he'll answer, he'll definitely. I wonder if Pete would answer. I don't know. Sometimes you just got to test it. I don't know if he will or not, but like, let's see if I could flex. But I do know Pete will be at the tailgate. I definitely know that's gonna happen. But he made Dillard's jokes at the spring game. Oh. Oh, snap. He answered. What's up, dog?
Man, watch out, man. Don't do that.
Nah, I was sitting. Nah, I don't mean it like that. I mean, you be busy, man. Like, dog. So we throwing a party when you make the Hall of Fame?
Uh-huh.
We throwing a party because they got you on the Hall of Fame ballot for college football.
Look, somebody just told me that. I ain't know nothing about it. I heard they have like I heard they have like 100 and some players to choose from.
So
and
we
they got like a whole bunch of people that they haven't chose yet, but they ain't even choose WD yet.
he's on the same ballot as you.
Oh, okay. So you think they gonna let 2 Florida State in at the same year?
I don't know, but we got to try.
Ward gonna go before me.
Well, that'd be cool too.
Yeah. Ward, Warren could definitely go before me, cause they like it that community wide stuff that you do. All that stuff too.
Man, they gonna amplify your Peyton's your Peyton stuff.
Not like they do. They gonna do WD though.
Nah, you're
that's
right.
cool though. But I just thought WD would have been already in.
He should have been. But Shade Tree just got in. Didn't he get in? I think Marvin got. Yeah, Marvin in. They ain't want him in, but they got him in now.
T-Buck in.
Is T-Buck in or is it T-Buck in the real Hall of Fame? No, T-Buck not in the real. No, T-Buck, yeah, T-Buck, T-Buck, Dion, Bobby.
All them in College Hall of Fame.
Damn, all right, we got to do like a campaign or something.
You see what I'm saying? Like T-Buck before WD? Nigga, Joe Hamilton in. Stop playing. Well, and Joe Hamilton, my guy. Yeah, but... Yeah.
Well, we're gonna figure something out. We gotta get you. We gotta get you. I want WD in too. But I ain't know. That's crazy. So you really didn't know you even on the list?
No, I know. When I went to whatchamacallit, I'm not pulling up in front of all them.
Hey man, hey Dub, I'm gonna hit you back, bro.
All
right. Make sure before my dog end up giving his whole position out. My man. I know he don't talk crazy. So like he's not one of the ones that I gotta worry about, say, oh man, this dude's soft. Like, for example, I said, I talk because one of the things that always comes up on social media is him and Percy Harvin, who's a phenomenal wide receiver at the University of Florida. And I said, hey man, these boys over here saying that that Percy better than you. And he said, hey man, he said, you can ask Percy, man. Even he know I'm better than him. That's the most wild thing that he gonna say. Like he's actually Pete's one of the most humble people. Like he's not like Charlie humble. Charlie's like humble and fucking meek. Like it's like you gotta remind Charlie Ward that he's Charlie Ward. You ain't gotta remind Pete that he's Pete. But Pete's not gonna make you feel like I'm Peter Ward and I'm better than you. Like Trey talks shit to Pete. Trey has said, I'm going, oh man, I'm not stalling out. He said, Trey's like, man, I'm gonna be better than you. I'm gonna make everybody. What he told me. He told me, he's like, Dad, I don't want to wear number 36 anymore. I want to wear number 9. He's better than you. And I want to make people forget him. And I'm like, you motherfucker. Like, this is why we have the MFTK stuff anyways. But again, so you hear that. My man don't think he's going to win. We're going to have to do a campaign for my dog. I don't want to not have Warwick Dunn be in there. I think both of them should be in there. But and I think he's right. It's entirely too long for both of them to have not been in. Hell, I'm almost 20 years removed from playing. So like he's got to be like it's just entirely too long. Because if you wait too long, you'll forget that the people were actually good. And then they'll start having these dumb, bogus think pieces based upon statistics from eras that are no longer there. Like, so you throw the ball a lot more now than you did then. And Pete still was over 1,000 yards. And you got to remember what he was doing with punt returns and different things. He was making people look foolish. He was the original video game guy. But speaking of which, with Trey being entirely too arrogant about his positions, apparently Trey was hanging out with his mother. They were vibing, and Trey was looking at the phone. And he noticed that LSU has a device that Florida State doesn't have. It's the softball one, but it's the first link. And conversations with Trey are really wild because the thought process that comes in. But then he's not really telling lies either. Trey watching a video about LSU being one of the first universities to implement air-conditioned football helmets. Trey, well, looks like I need to go talk to Mike Norvell, his mom. You know him? Trey's like, I get to talk to him. Well, okay. A lot of people don't realize Trey did not tell one lie. I'm pretty sure he will get a chance to talk to Mike Norvell at the youth camp because we will see him June 19th. And Mike will probably entertain Trey talking to him about these air-conditioned helmets. And Trey's going to be like, what do we need to do to get this done? Does my dad need to get involved? He will probably try to sacrifice and use my money. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Coach Norvell, ain't going to happen. Not me. I ain't got that kind of bread, one. And then two, if I did, I'm not giving you no damn helmets. Not air-conditioned helmets. That's the problem with these guys. They're too soft now. But I didn't. It's just really just like I don't even know how it works. I remember when I played, they were making a big deal about air-conditioned shoulder pads. But it was like basically like a hose kind of stuck out, and they could put the hose to it, and it would cool you down. But we didn't even use that shit. Like it's just you're so used to humidity. It just like LSU did. They came to LSU and they did a whole thing. I think that might be it right there, Miles. If you look to the far right, yeah, it's like this looks like a tube. There's an electrical thing, man. Yeah, that stuff, man.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Like, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, because I know with one of the things that made like our equipment manager reminded me of how many broken helmets that I gave people. And dented face mask, and I can only think about like coming in and just destroying somebody, and now they're short circuiting.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking.
Like it just doesn't seem like efficient or optimal. But whatever, I'm not about the advantage. So, but I'm not for that. But I was going into all this to say, if you haven't watched the the Women's College World Series, like you are missing out. I promise, like it's the women's sports is so much better than men's sports in certain. Like this is like so. I'm gonna get into why everybody listening should be watching. You should be watching Florida State girls. They're pretty, they're athletic. And damn it, I forgot this one. I gotta find it, Miles, and send it to you. This little girl, she's 5'4", and like so. Just okay, forget it. So I was half asleep Saturday and Sunday. But Saturday I woke up to watch the last little bit of the women's the Florida State women. They were playing they played Washington, and they were beating them. But then Washington kind of slid back in, right? I had it. It must have been one of my likes. Washington kind of slid back in. And it was we were up 3-2, I believe. And then they were advancing. It was the final inning. They go 7 innings. They'll go over if they need to. 7 innings, right? They put not just the tying run on base. But now you have the batter. If she hits a home run, actually it'll probably be that one. No, if there's a short clip or a highlight, that's what we want to see. So they put it up there. They get one out. It's 1 out, 2 batters on, 2 runners on base, and a big time batter up there. And this girl, 5'4", comes up there. I mean, the hitter comes up there. She hits it in the direction of the shortstop. Shortstop elevates, grabs it, double play. Like grabs it, boom, puts her feet on the ground, throws it. Florida State wins. That was a national championship. So it was a rematch of the national championship, but that wasn't the game. What's the girl? Man, hold on. FSU softball gotta have it because it was crazy. It should have been a top 10 moment. They play tonight. They should be playing at 7:30 today. They called it. I just want this one. Like that's her getting. That's her elevating right there.
Oh, what's her name?
Josie Muffley.
Muffley. Okay.
Oh, here it is. I'm about to send it to you right now, Miles. She needs to be on. She needs the stature. Our girl Michaela did her thing too. But this play right here was crazy. In the picture, I just sent it to you. The picture was great. I mean, it's just the energy, man. Yeah, right there. Oh my God. It is. I want to watch this. Let me try to do my best color commentating on this. Yeah, see what we're going to do on this. Because if you didn't watch it, you need to. Yeah, appreciate that, Jason Brown. You're right. It was 3-1. So, oh man, right here. Is it Sander? Yeah, Sander Cock on the mound. Yep. All right, Sander Cock on the mound. She pitches. It's a hit. Line drive. Caught by Jose Muffley. Oh, it's a double play. I'm just saying, I was on the couch and I was watching this on my phone, and I was just like, yo, boom, snagged that. And then girl was like, nope, got her, got him. And it was it's automatic because there was somebody on first, and they had just talked about them intentionally walking somebody. This could have ended bad. Sandra Cox she ain't really have the mojo going toward the end of it. But man, these girls were balling. They had a stolen base. It was all kinds of goodness. And then not just that though. If you watch Stanford versus Oklahoma today, they went into extra innings. And they got this big old Amazonian black chick at Stanford that was throwing gas. She had Oklahoma dead to rights, but then they figured her out. They ended up walking somebody similar to what Florida State did, and then they had a girl, she cracked that bad boy open, and then it was just, they couldn't come back. Oklahoma hasn't lost a game. They're like on a 51 game win streak.
Damn.
Like I think we lost to them pretty decently earlier this year. But it's like, you watch these games and you're like, man, you don't got to know nothing about softball to enjoy this. And listen, man, if you ain't watching the college women's world softball World Series, man, you're a hater. You're a hater of women's sports. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna go on and say you hate women. But man, it didn't. Again, just to say, some of the names are just like the jokes write themselves. The jokes write themselves. Something that's happened since we last aired. I believe it happened right when we aired, like probably Monday of last week. But we never really talked about it, but breakups happen all the time in sports. One of the big things that happened to Michael Jordan's Bulls, they broke them up. They break up, all dynasties come to an end. This one is in particular because everybody has always, don't get me wrong, he is big time. He's old, but Skip Bayless is a diabolical hater, but he's the best hater that's out there, that's ever existed.
Oh, he's a machine. He's like on a Tom Brady diet. All he does is hate.
Right. And he has made a living, and he's taught other black people how to hate. Stephen A. Smith is one of his I don't know, make sure I said it right. Pro fights, is that how you say it? Whatever. Proteges. And he got Shannon Sharp in there, and there was some good, like, this is how radio was made. When I got my start in radio, they told me and Denny that they wanted us to be like Skip and Stephen A. Smith. I don't know how to be like that, but that's what they wanted. And in that, people like it. I think it caters to the lowest denominator of intelligent sports debate. Not even like barbershop debate, but just like really bad debate. But I get it. It works. It's a working formula. He left ESPN to go to Fox, to FS1. replicate the exact same model. But what happened was, what was wild is that Skip Bayless, and I learned this through Barstool Sports, he had to apologize to his wife.
Whoa.
And nothing wrong with apologize. I think more people should be adults and apologize. But nobody knew why. It wasn't like Dana White who had to apologize for beating his wife up after she slapped the shit out of him.
I thought it was over this.
Again, we don't know.
Oh.
But this is what was posted first. And he got, because he was at a screaming match with his wife that was so bad that others saw it. But what's wild is like, why y'all don't be recording these guys? And nobody recorded this shit, but he felt the need, I'm going to apologize to my wife because actually, let's see that. I wonder if that's clean. Let's see what that person had, like that little spoof on it, because we don't know what it looked like. All we can do is imply.
It's your fault that the Heat lost. I told you to stay in the other room.
What did I do?
I told you, don't be in the same room as me.
It's not my fucking fault.
Fuck you. It's your fault.
I'll take that. But let's just say it wasn't the Heat, because immediately after this, Shannon Sharp announced that he had reached a buyout with Fox for him to leave Undisputed. And it was just the level, and I think it's just the level of disrespect that he finally, like, he just left him. And then Skip did what a lot of powerful white men do. Probably black men too, but he's a powerful white man. Take it out on their wives. Because he knows he can't flex up the Shannon. But anybody with a brain saw this shit coming. Earlier this year, Skip Bayless did one of the most disrespectful things you can do to an athlete. Like, Shannon Sharp is that motherfucker. Like, he still looks great. He looks like he can still play. He was a Hall of Fame tight end, multiple Super Bowls. And what happened was he was telling a truth about Tom Brady, who Skip Bayless happens to love. But actually it was two things that went back to back. It was that, and he said he disrespected him. And we got okay, yeah, because now it's gonna fuck up our. Oh, yeah. But it's all good. It doesn't matter. Like, it's good for context. So I'm talking about it. You guys might have forgot. But like, much like Pepperidge Farms, I remember.
You want to play?
Yeah, you can go ahead and play it.
I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I
so
got 3 Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you are.
I'm better than you. Yeah, see what you do. You take personal shots.
No, I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a
What are
minute.
you talking about?
You would take a personal
Put
shot.
your glasses back on.
Ended.
Can I finish? You're willing to take a personal shot.
This is back on.
Glasses back.
So that, and then another time where Skip disrespected him was when we all saw a man die on the football field and get revived back.
That's right.
Now, Skip made some, what I personally believe, out of context remarks, but that's why sometimes it's okay to not have an opinion. But it offended people who had played the game. And Shannon was just like, you know what? I'm going to chill out. I ain't going to come in. And that was when everybody was first worried about, oh, shit, he might have went too far. And then Shannon was saying his stuff. He's like, I hope that he apologizes. And he's like, I'm not going to apologize. So he cut him off. So what Shannon, what a lot of people, and then now people are talking about him and Kwame Brown getting involved with it. If you think Shannon Sharp gives a fuck what Kwame Brown has to say, you're a loser in life too. I'm just gonna put that out there. You sir have nothing in life that you've ever accomplished. But I do believe at a certain point where they're at, I guess you got to figure out how close you are. Like, are we really that cool of a friend?
Right.
Like, when me and Denny had our show, like, I knew how I could get under Denny's skin, but I never went there.
Right.
Or some of the jokes that people would say about it, I was like, that's why you cheated. in high school. Like, but he did, and he's fun and he's cool with it. If he wasn't cool with it, it only gets on his nerves because random people bring it up. Like he can't be a good person from something that happened well over a decade ago. But I'll say this, like, I would never challenge Denny like as a father, or I guess like right now he's a great quarterback. I would never say, I don't know who's the other quarterback. Like what's my guy's name up in Atlanta? I can't even think of his name right now. But I would never say such and such is better than you.
Right.
Not to the point when we're having an argument about it.
Right.
If anything, I'm gonna say it in jest, and I'm gonna say it with such a big smile on my face that he knows I'm not. That anybody who sees it knows I'm not serious.
But I think if you could even look at this picture, it encapsulates it. He's still in 100% character.
Right.
Is starting to break.
And that's what I'm thinking is like, it got past the point of where, and I think what happened, this is what happens sometimes. Hold on, yo. Hey, what's going on, Mayor? I'm good.
And when is that?
It's July 29th.
All right, I'm gonna try. I leave office July 1. I'm gonna try to get you some money in your hands for that before I leave.
You know, man, Lenny, I was actually gonna call you, but I didn't know how to call you because I knew that. But I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I can't promise, but I think I can pull it off.
Man, I appreciate it. Listen, so I got you, and we were trying to pull things off. July 1st, there happens to be another concert. If I text it to you, do you think you can get that, or you lose those privileges that day too?
Well, if I get you the tickets before then, we're good. So shoot me the text.
All right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that, man. But I'm dead serious, man. I appreciate it. I'll send the information over to you for the book bag drop.
All right, brother. And send me the concert too.
All right, we'll do.
All right, see you, man. Bye.
God damn. That was cool. God damn. That was cool as shit. That's the mayor of Jacksonville that a lot of black people don't like, but he's the guy who every year I've done a book bag job, Lenny has been one of the first people to write the check. So I don't give that's why I always tell people, I don't care what are you doing, what I need you to do. But I had to answer that. Sorry about that. It was a flex. Yes, it was. If we can, oh shit, motherfucker, call my phone. That's public office. Shit, don't fucking call my phone. don't fucking call my phone if it don't like. I tell people all the time, like, you don't tell me something that you don't want to see. Like, if you don't want it on my show, be like, hey, don't talk about it. Preface it, and I'll think about it. But if you call me, and it's important, like if Donald Trump called me right now, I'm going to put fucking Donald Trump on the phone. And Barack Obama calls me, I'm putting Barack on the phone. Like, I'm sorry. Hell, if my dog Benji Brown, who's a comedian, if my famous friends call me, I'm putting them on the phone. If there's a microphone and there's a camera near me, because I need y'all to know that I actually know some cool people. That's my validation, my flex. But my point into this Shannon Sharp shit is that you got, like, he knew where he hit him at one of the things that have actually made him. And it's not who he is. Like, he's a firm, secure guy, but like, I think it's what happens sometimes. Damn, I don't want to sound like Dr. Umar. I'm blessed to have some cool ass pilgrims that I'm around. Scott, my guy Scott, who I do the lounge with, one of the coldest pilgrims you could ever meet. Scott's so gangster. If you my friend, you Scott's friend. I got my guy Tom West, not Cigar Tom, but my guy Tom West, cold ass pilgrim. Lacrosse shit. That's why I'm in lacrosse. I never have to worry about any of the other things that I do that they'll be jealous and have to bring me down a few notches. And that's not just a white person thing. Don't get it twisted. Black people do it to each other all the time. They call it, oh, I got to humble. Don't get bigger than your britches. Don't remember. You forgot where you came from. Bitch, yeah, I did sometimes. Because I'm nowhere near that. And I think when you see stuff like this, Shannon is the real draw. He's the seasoning. He's the entree.
I think he has now eclipsed him.
And I think that's where people are that's where he's mad in a way that he doesn't have to be, because he can always say, well, I'm here, I'm doing it. But no, the way you like, there's no reason you belittle a man over Tom Brady who's not somebody that you get money with. Like, that was really, like, to be honest with you, yes, Tom Brady's one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game, but Shannon Sharp's probably the greatest tight end to ever play the game. Kelsey probably will be better when it's all said and done. Yeah. But right now, Shannon Sharp is that guy. But like, that was just, but again, he's also building up stuff in a way that Skip could never do. Not because Skip's not talented enough, he's just old. Nobody wants to see Skip Bayless podcast. Right. But Club Shay Shay is really good. I actually like Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay more than I do on in this particular instance. And I think Shannon Sharp is good enough to where he knows he can go command a price point for that. Right. And I think that's where Skip is like, well, man, but now you end up losing people when you actually disrespect people. I would never disrespect somebody that I'm doing work with. I was just telling you, gotta let people know you're on the show live.
Someone told you that?
Yeah,
someone else?
Yeah, it was TJ text that. Should be all right.
I agree.
I think those two people will actually probably appreciate it even more.
I think it would help. Yeah, it's a good look.
Yeah, like, you know what? If Daniel Davis calls me right now, ask about my damn book badge, I will put him on too. And that's the CEO of the Chamber of Commerce, the guy who just lost the fucking election. I probably could have helped him get some black votes if we would have just put us together. Like, yo, let people come on my show. Be honest and real. Like, you like black people, but not like, I'm gonna help a little couple color kids get. No, let them see you on the back porch with us smoking cigars, man. That shit wins.
Yeah, that was completely informal.
And that's like, people, like, one person was like, why do you like Lynn? Because he talks to me normal. And you want to know who else he talks to like that? Trey. He said Trey got tickets to the playoff game because of that. And people were like, would you get that because of, if it wasn't for who you? I don't know. I wouldn't get a lot of the shit that I get if it wasn't because of who I am. But that dude talks to me like, that's how you get my vote. I'm not finna be the old black man just lying on the, like, protesting and just laying on the ground, kicking his legs at City Hall. And y'all think that I'm some civil rights fucking icon. I'm the guy who's gonna go get shit done by talking with people on a normal level. And it's cool. Like, I love that when I get a chance. Cause then I'm like, yo, cause again, I'm the same guy who told, hey man, you kind of sold out for 4-5 a little bit, didn't you? Because we had that type of relationship. It's like you're sitting there. Yeah, it's like you see some of the cool shit, and you see like, okay, well, damn, his hands was kind of tied on this. And like some of the stuff where y'all railroad people, they really can't do shit about it. Right. Their hands are really tied, and you're really getting mad at the wrong people. But that's neither here nor there. But like, it's still funny though. But damn, what was we? Okay, but anyway, Shannon Sharp had to leave. He's going to be fine. It's about having FU money. And when you have FU money, you get to do what you want to do. You know who has FU money? The biggest boss that we've seen thus far. Rose. Rose, one, he's got so much money that he can go toe-to-toe, blow for blow with the guy who has the most powerful morning show and DJ Envy and just shit all over his big-time car show, by the way.
Right, yeah.
But Rick Ross was having his car show. And when what was asked was like, and I'll get to just the whole preface of the car show in general. Okay, so like right now, like y'all, if you just listen to the show, the show I'm asked for, I am a big Young Jeezy fan. There's like a Legends of Hip Hop tour that's coming here July 1st. Jeezy in town, I'm going to see Jeezy. I'm not going to Legends. I'm not going to buy. Now, the seats that I'm getting are going to be dope. I'm not buying the tickets like there's meet and greets and there's all kinds of, like, unless I'm going to see Jay-Z. Like, I had a friend go see Beyonce. She paid like thousands of dollars to see, but she was like, and Beyonce kind of waved at her too in the general direction, which was cool. The whole trip she did was opulent. But she knew what she was getting into. When you pay for this, she knows it's going to be like $10 for a beer or something like that, or a juice. Right. It's going to be like, it's high-end stuff. Rick Ross doing a car show where the tickets were like $250 to $450. Woo. Woo. When you pay that, get your mind right, okay? Get your mind right, because you're going to see silly shit like, actually,
I just read this. This is hilarious.
And they're blaming Rick Ross, but this isn't Rick Ross. This is a vendor. Now, Rick Ross probably charged that vendor like $5,000 to $10,000 to be there, so they had to charge these prices. But like, if you've really been to some of these outdoor events, is it really out of the realm? Like, have you been to a black restaurant lately? They're selling everything out. About a year ago, actually on Trey's birthday, my boy OJ got married. Remember I told y'all the story about the pastors and all that shit and thinking I'm going to go to hell on scholarship because I got the pastors in the strip club. We went to this, and now this restaurant is closed now. It was called Q something. It was by Omega. They sold a $20 pork chop and $10 sides. Like, not $20 for the pork chop and you get 2 sides. $20 for 1 pork chop and then $10 for the sides. So you want to get 2 sides. My bad. They did give you a piece of cornbread. So when I'm looking at this, it's not ridiculous. It sounds like if you've gone to a lot of these bougie ass black restaurants, it's just a food truck. Food trucks are out of control. We have a little food truck thing up here on Saturday sometimes. And I've had to spend easily like about $100 on some damn food truck food. But if you wanted to hang out with the biggest boss, the shrimps are immaculate. They're delectable. The shrimps with the fries and the chicken wing lemon pepper are going to cost you $60. But you get a half a pound of lobster. I'm just saying, like, mac and cheese with everything. But like I hope the only thing that you get is some good size. But I will say he did bring up a point with Envy. Like, if it was a real deal car show, so like you had to have the best of your cars. And like they gave the 3 trophies that they gave were like encrusted Rick Ross like medallions, Cubans, like Cuban link, like look very valuable. He was like, this ain't a $10 car where you get a $10 trophy. And, you know, even to put your car in the car show, you had to pay real bread. And I think Gucci Man performed. Gucci ain't cheap. Gucci not coming there for the kids. It was but what happened is everybody who paid for it seemed like they had a really, really good time. And the people who couldn't afford to be there or overextended themselves went, and you complained. There is a really easy way to not have to complain about paying $60 for a shrimp basket. Don't fucking go. Or eat. The only thing that I'm appalled by, because I've also paid $10 for some lemonade at a Pop Warner game, so I ain't really worried about that. And they had like a cactus juice lemonade that was like, I'm interested in what the cactus juice lemonade tastes like. It sounds refreshing. I'm mad about the $5 water though. That's messed up. Like, I ain't paying $5 for the little bottle ass water, like for some City Punch. But outside of that, man, it's like when people complain about my tailgate. Why does it have to be so much? You don't have to come. Don't go. Like, go do your own goddamn tailgate. Other places that you don't have to go, it's the water. I posted this thing. I think it was a shark whale or something like that, or whale shark. And they don't eat meat. They don't like really eat humans like normal sharks do. But it was big. And what happens was the person was paddling right in the water, right? And then the whale shark, you could see it emerge like, ah. And the human's there, and the guy's scared, and he gets out of the boat. And they're like, ha, the whale shark will not eat you. They don't eat meat. Now, you know what? I've seen killer whales Killer Whales, I've saw Free Willy. He was jumping over like little bricks, little rock statues in Free Willy. But now those same Free Willies are taking seals and just throwing them up in the air for fun. They're just running around eating shark livers. I don't know what's in the water. It's a scary place. I got ancestors there somewhere. Like, I don't want no parts of it, man. Like, But like we just did the thing where I think the orcas are purposely sinking boats, and they're teaching other orcas how to do it.
Sure.
We know more about space than we know about our own oceans. And y'all are out here thinking that like there are things that can kill you in that ocean that you don't even see coming. And y'all think I should just smile because these things look cute in movies. Well, look what happened to these two white people on a kayak messing around with a whale. If just like cheap people at Rick Ross's car shows, white people stay out of the water. And this happened. A whale, just for those who don't, for the record, they eat plankton. They don't eat humans. And these humans ended up being okay, relatively okay. Thank God that they have a very small, like, esophagus or something like that, because they had to spit it back up. But this, I wouldn't take a bath if this happened to me. But go push play. These cats are just in a little kayak. Little kayak.
No.
It got to look like something just swallowed it. Get back on the water.
No.
No, sir. Not me. It's just, you want to tell me that that's the water's safe when things that don't even eat meat can just swallow you.
Accidentally, maybe. There's two old ladies, too. They survived. I watched an interview with them today. They didn't know where they were when they were inside of the mouth of the whale. All they could see is other fish swimming around them. They said it lasted about 15 seconds. The one friend didn't want to go because she never goes out on the ocean, but the other friend assured them it would be just fine. Two old ladies, like Golden Girls looking ladies.
This lady has said, I know my time is coming to an end. I can smell death. I do not want to go into the water where I don't know what's going on. And then all of her worst fears and nightmares came true. Like, she couldn't even imagine. Nobody fathoms that that's the way that they're going to die.
She said she had enough time to look at the whale, put her arm out and say, ah.
No way. Yo. Again, that's biblical. They got Jonah'd.
Went to work that day.
I would have, you know what? I would have enjoyed every day on land. I might not go to sleep. But stay out of the water. But one thing I want to do on finishing is giving props to, not enough happens with this. Again, not enough happens when people big up one side that's doing stuff, and not enough happens. We always talk about the inner city of major metros, and we always bash them. We talk about the violence, we talk about the crime, we talk about how bad the schools are, but we never talk about when they do great things like this. So Jacksonville's North Side, shout out to Moncrief. That's one of the streets that you hear in the local rappers rap about here. And typically with the streets in a rap song, you want to stay away from it. But Rains High School is on Moncrief. And what they did was nothing short of amazing. And I'm shocked that it hasn't really hit national headlines, but I want to give them props. William M. Rains graduated 99% of the students this year, collectively earning $8.4 million in academic and athletic scholarships. Did I forget to mention 99% of seniors received a high school diploma, not a certificate of completion? Let that marinate like neck bone juice, that lets you know that's a hood ass motherfucker that tweeted posted that. But what the difference is, like they didn't just pass these guys. That means they did everything that the state of Florida required of a high school senior. And I know a lot of people are like, kudos, you did what you're supposed to do. No. They did do what they were supposed to do, but a lot of people don't have that. Very, very good academic schools don't have a rank that high. That means like very few, maybe like one or two people did not pass. And that is a major key. That is a big accomplishment that those young men and women did, in spite of being told that there'll be statistics and all of these different things. Education matters. These guys did a great thing. I think they should be bigged up during the season where everybody's posting their graduation pics and their kids doing all these different things. Side note, I want to talk about this because I am an ally. I want people to know that. I got, your cousin was one of the like coldest gay people I've ever seen in my life. I didn't know he was gay. I really appreciate Xavier.
Oh.
Like Xavier is like really gay, but Xavier's cool as shit. Like Xavier's one of those, like, I don't know if he's gay or if he's just really Spanish. Like, but it's dope because I wouldn't know if he didn't say. I just thought he was a really well-dressed male, light-skinned man.
Yeah, I get that.
Nah, his ex was like, that motherfucker gay, but he cool as shit too, though.
Yeah.
Damn, I just really. Oh, I say that because I have noticed this. Everybody they talked about, is it like, are you afraid to let your son see The Little Mermaid? I saw The Little Mermaid when I was 4 years old. I'm pretty straight. I'm okay. I saw the original cartoon. My son went to go see it. The only thing annoying about Kai seeing The Little Mermaid is he keeps randomly singing Under the Sea. I don't think he knows the rest of the words. He's just saying, under the sea, under the sea, under the sea.
That's just about it.
Everybody's worried about boys becoming gay. Like when they say gay, that's what they never talk that, or the transgenders. But have you noticed? I've been looking at a lot of y'all beautiful children. I saw the prom season and I saw the season when I was coming up. Most of the girls during prom season wore dresses.
Right.
I have seen so many girls in suits.
Oh, right.
With the low haircuts and this, that, and the other. Like, why is that not like the face of, like, do you think because she watched He-Man or she's watched Thor, God of Thunder, like that's never the conversation. It's always, well, my son turned gay if he watches The Little Mermaid.
That's true. Well, yeah,
when we're not seeing a preponderance of boys going to the prom in dresses, we're seeing a bunch of girls going to prom and going to these different places dressed like Little Bow Wow, dressed like Manny Fresh, dressed like you know how all this they come in a certain style, like in a certain pack. Very few, but at least they're looking. The one thing I will say is props to y'all letting them girls look like upstanding gentlemen and not drug dealers. Because I was getting tired. I was getting tired of that trope from the studs. Like, at least dress like dress like Myron Rowe or something like that. But I say all that to say is that, congratulations. I did notice that there's a little, like, what are y'all afraid of? Are y'all just afraid of because we still don't demand the emasculation part, but we're cool with because again, everybody loves a lesbian.
Most men only halfway believe in lesbians. I think they always, it might be just a phase, especially when they're younger.
I've seen some studs phase out. Yeah. Studs are getting pregnant every day, B. It's one of the weirdest things in the world to me. Like, I don't know how this shit works, but like, they sneak dicking. I think that's what they call it. And I don't know who you guys are that are getting these studs pregnant, but you're right. I guess it's still weird. I don't know. But my point is that I appreciate y'all chopping it up with me. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday.